monster fans, a variety of exciting movies await us. Regardless of whether it's iconic creatures from the past or innovative new creations, this original episode gives you an overview of all the interesting new projects involving aliens, monsters, zombies, and more. Enjoy! Mind-blowing monster action guaranteed! This year, we can expect another installment of Warner Bros. Monsterverse with Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Godzilla and Kong must join forces to take down an all-powerful ape titan called Scar King. The first trailer already reveals that the movie will largely take place in the Hollow Earth and deals with the origins of the Titans. Kaiju fans should once again get their money's worth and mark the release date of March 29, 2024 in their calendars. A new adventure awaits the newly qualified Ghostbusters Trevor and Phoebe Spengler. In the sequel, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, the two of them return to the franchise's place of origin, the iconic New York firehouse. Once there, they must face an ancient menace that threatens to turn the world into a second ice age. They are assisted by old heroes such as Dr. Peter Venkman, Ray Stantz, and Winston Zeddemore. Gil Kenan, who previously directed the remake of the horror classic Poltergeist, will be in charge of directing the sequel. As Kenan revealed in an interview, the series, The Real Ghostbusters, is said to have served as inspiration for the film. In the style of the series, the Ghostbusters are faced with a variety of wild and original creatures against which they have to stand their ground. The cast of Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire includes Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard, Paul Rudd, and McKenna Grace, as well as the old guard of Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson. On March 22, 2024, we will find out whether the Ghostbusters can once again save the Earth from its doom. 7 years have passed since the aliens' last appearance in Alien Covenant. Although the movie directed by Ridley Scott did not meet the expectations of many fans, the franchise remains popular. Now, a new installment with the working title Alien Romulus is awaiting us. According to initial information, the movie will be a standalone with no connection to the previous films. Horror fans can particularly look forward to the name of Fede Alvarez, who is directing the project. With films such as Don't Breathe, he has proven that he can create suspense with modest means. His ultra-brutal remake of Evil Dead was likewise convincing. The choice of Alvarez gives reason to hope that his influence will have a positive impact on the quality of the latest Alien adventure. The theatrical release of Alien Romulus is slated for August 16, 2024. The Venom symbiote is already celebrating its return this year. While the first sequel in 2021 was met with mixed reactions, fans are eagerly awaiting Venom 3. The story of the movie is still unknown, but there has been speculation about a possible clash between Venom and Spider-Man, especially after Eddie Brock made a brief appearance in the post-credits scene of No Way Home. Filming began in June last year, but was suspended due to the actors and writers' strike. Then, in November 2023, Tom Hardy announced to the relief of fans that production on the blockbuster had resumed. Although we still have to remain patient for a while, nothing now seems to stand in the way of the movie's release on November 8, 2024. Batman meets Wednesday. Michael Keaton returns after more than 35 years in his role as the iconic poltergeist Beetlejuice and wreaks havoc once again. In addition to Keaton and Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega has also joined the cast of the sequel. Apart from Wednesday, the 21-year-old actress has already appeared in horror movies such as the Scream franchise, Insidious 2, and T. West's X. Johnny Depp is also said to have a small part in the project. The team behind Beetlejuice 2 sounds promising. Tim Burton is once again in charge of directing, while Wednesday authors Alfred Gough and Miles Miller have penned the screenplay. Danny Elfman, a longtime friend of Burton's, will once again provide the background music. The long-awaited return of the much-loved Poltergeist is scheduled for September 6, 2024, and should once again feature some crazy creatures. A new Hellboy movie titled The Crooked Man is in the pipeline. While Hellboy and Hellboy 2 with Ron Perlman and the rebooted Hellboy with Stranger Things star David Harbour attempted to be big blockbusters, the new movie will focus entirely on the horror elements of the comics. In detail, this means a small but excellent horror flick, R-rated of course, without a big star cast, which doesn't cost too much, but can easily make a profit. The main role is played by Jack Kesey, who, apart from an appearance in Deadpool 2, has so far only appeared in less prominent films. The movie is being directed by Brian Taylor, who directed Ghost Rider 2 and the Crank films with Jason Statham, for example. It is not yet known when and where Hellboy: The Crooked Man will be released. A cinema release is just as conceivable as a streaming premiere. Filming has already been concluded since mid-2023, however, so everything currently looks set for a release in summer 2024. In late 2024, director Robert Eggers will ensure that Count Orlok, aka Nosferatu, rises from his tomb once again. The iconic vampire, who was first portrayed by Max Schreck in 1922, will be played by It star Bill Skarsgård in Eggers' version. Eggers, known for atmospheric works such as The Witch and The Lighthouse, was able to secure an impressive cast for his project, including Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Willem Dafoe. This is the third time Dafoe has worked with the director. The first images already promise an eerie atmosphere. We are looking forward to the Count's upcoming return on December 25th, 2024. The 1928 classic The Call of Cthulhu is finally getting a big screen adaptation. The short story, written by H.P. Lovecraft, is about Francis Thurston, who comes across mysterious sculptures and documents in the estate of his deceased uncle. These tell of deaths, blood rituals, and atrocities associated with the cult. This cult wants to bring the cosmic monster Cthulhu back to life. Although the story has been popular for decades and has been adapted time and again in various media, a 45-minute silent film from 2005 has so far been the sole achievement for movie fans. Now, director James Wan is planning a movie adaptation of the story. Known for his skill in the horror genre, thanks to movies such as Insidious and The Conjuring, we expect the movie adaptation to be just as scary as the original. However, a release date has not been set yet. Mary Shelley's horror classic Frankenstein is being adapted once again, this time under the direction of monster expert Guillermo del Toro in cooperation with Netflix. Oscar Isaac takes on the role of Victor Frankenstein, joined by Pearl actress Mia Goth, two-time Oscar winner Christoph Waltz, as well as Lars Mikkelsen. Originally intended for Andrew Garfield, the role of the monster ultimately went to Jacob Elordi, known from Euphoria. Elordi, one of Hollywood's most sought-after young actors, has likewise shown his talent in productions such as Saltburn and Priscilla. Although the exact release date for the new Frankenstein remains unclear, a premiere in 2025 seems quite likely if production moves quickly. With Planet of the Dead, director Zack Snyder continues his 2021 zombie smash hit, Army of the Dead. It will also link to the spin-off Army of Thieves, directed by Matthias Schweighöfer. Snyder's original plan was to create an entire zombie universe, and Netflix has already given its go-ahead for the sequel. Nevertheless, it might take some time before Part 2 finally sees the light of day. In an interview with Collider, Snyder revealed that he wanted to focus on his science fiction epic Rebel Moon first, before devoting himself to the next project. However, since Rebel Moon 1 already achieved impressive viewing figures on Netflix, we can assume that Planet of the Dead also has a secure future to look forward to on the streaming service. According to initial information, Matthias Schweighöfer, Omari Hardwick, Game of Thrones star Natalie Emmanuel, and Christian Slater have already signed up for the project. 12 years after Silent Hill Revelation 3D, another sequel is now being planned with Return to Silent Hill. Part 3 takes the form of a reboot and will be based on the second part of the well-known video game. Under the direction of Brotherhood of the Wolf director Christopher Gans, filming took place in Germany last year, more precisely in the Penzing Studios in Bavaria. In terms of story, the film focuses on James, played by Jeremy Irvine, who is led back to the eponymous town after receiving a mysterious letter. Once there, however, he realizes that things aren't quite as they seem, as a malevolent force has the town under its control. The horror film has already been shot and could be released in theaters as early as 2024. We will let you know as soon as a release date has been set. Fans of gripping zombie movies have reason to celebrate. Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, the creative minds behind the horror hit 28 Days Later, are now planning another sequel to the 2002 zombie thriller with 28 Years Later. The new project is set to be the start of an entire trilogy. Boyle is directing the first movie, while Garland is set to write the screenplays for all three parts, each with a budget of around $75 million. It is not yet clear when, where, and how 28 Years Later will be released. Boyle and Garland are currently submitting the project to various studios and streaming providers. Green, slimy, and absolutely creepy. We're talking about Alec Holland, aka Swamp Thing from DC. He is to be given a new film adaptation, which will conclude the first chapter of the DCU directed by James Gunn. James Mangold, known for Logan, Ford v Ferrari, and the fifth part of the Indiana Jones film series, will direct and write the screenplay. The Swamp Thing creature was the result of an accident in which biologist Alec Holland fell into a swamp together with a plant elixir. This caused Holland's spirit to merge with the swamp plants. Due to its plant-based nature, Swamp Thing is vulnerable to environmental pollution, which could be a theme for the upcoming movie. As the new DCU will not start before summer 2025, we can probably expect Swamp Thing to be released in cinemas in 2026 at the earliest. In 2016, Korean zombie flick Train to Busan left a huge impression on fans of the genre and became a worldwide hit. It was followed by the sequel Peninsula and the animated film Soul Station. but Hollywood also seems to be interested, as a few years later, they announced a remake called The Last Train to New York. Horror expert James Wan is set to produce the film. The remake was originally supposed to be released in cinemas in 2023, but due to organizational reasons, the film has been postponed to a later date. Wan and his team emphasized that they want to develop an independent story without blatantly copying the original. However, the plan is still for Timo Tjahjanto to direct the remake. Tjahjanto has already won over audiences with The Night Comes for Us, an extremely bloody action thriller on Netflix. It remains to be seen if and when we will actually get to see The Last Train to New York. In 2024, the first prequel from the A Quiet Place universe awaits us with A Quiet Place Day 1. The film sheds light on the prehistory of the alien invasion and focuses in particular on the collapse of civilization. Much of the footage was shot in London, which suggests a much more international focus. This time, the director is not John Krasinski, but Michael Sarnowski, known for the acclaimed drama Pig with Nicolas Cage. Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o takes on the leading role, alongside Jimon Hounsou, Joseph Quinn, and Alex Wolff. It remains unclear whether the family surrounding Emily Blunt's character Evelyn will make an appearance. However, Blunt has hinted that the prequel will make a connection to the previous films. The theatrical release is slated for June 28, 2024. Following his success with The Invisible Man, director Leigh Whannell was given the task of reinterpreting another classic by Universal. We're speaking of The Wolfman. Similar to Frankenstein, the character has already had several film adaptations, which have become less and less impressive each time. The leading role, originally intended for Ryan Gosling, will be played by Christopher Abbott in the new version. Julia Garner, known from series such as Ozark and Inventing Anna, has also been confirmed. The production is in the hands of horror powerhouse Blumhouse in collaboration with Universal Pictures. We assume that Whannell will breathe new life into the werewolf theme. The film will be released on November 25th, 2024. And that's it for our brief overview of the most exciting monster projects right now. What are you most looking forward to? And are there any great movies that we haven't mentioned here? Do share them with the community in the comments down below.